Morning, everyone. This morning, just a short one, but it's about a conversation that I had with Mick yesterday, and it's about we were talking about near-death experiences, and basically how they affect you, what you see, what goes on. I've had quite a few narrow escapes in my life, so I wouldn't really class them as near-death experiences, but I have had two real near-death experiences. One in particular was very, very vivid, and I've often heard other people's accounts of near-death experiences, and a lot of them seem to say that they go down a tunnel towards a light, but there's also it's very bright, that there are green fields, there are people, they love waiting to greet them, etc., etc. My experience was quite different. Yes, there was a light, but it was almost like a very small torch beam way in the distance, and I was actually going down a dark tunnel, and the people that were coming to meet me, yes, I didn't feel scared, I didn't feel threatened in any way, but the people that were coming to meet me were just reaching out from within the shadows, possibly trying to let me know that they were there for me, or maybe, for other reasons. I have no idea. But I wouldn't say that it was the lovely experience that other people have related. I wish I could say it was. And then I was sucked back. That's the only way I can describe it. It was like being sucked back by a huge vacuum cleaner. I felt quite a bit of pressure with it. Anyway, this then turned the conversation to what people's idea of heaven is. And I've always said that you will see things in the way that you are comfortable with. If you have a paranormal experience or a spiritual experience, I always believe that you will see things in the way that you are happy with and you are comfortable with. If you believe in angels, you'll see angels. You believe in fairies, you'll see fairies. If you believe only in real life people, that is how you will see your spirits, and how you will feel comfortable and ready to accept. And I think it's much the same, actually, with perceptions of heaven. Mick's idea of heaven, according to him, is to be walking along a sun-kissed beach. And I then said, well, probably my idea of heaven is to be walking along Victoria Embankment, which might seem strange to some people, but it's one of my favourite places, and a place that I always, I don't know about recently because they have changed it a lot, but it was one of the places where I felt I could go to think, I could feel comfortable. I was at home with the architecture and the river, and even the area of London that I was in. But this then posed the question about, well, if you meet up with your loved ones, okay, or the energy of your loved ones, how come, or how can you all be together if you have different ideas and different perceptions of what heaven is, or where, or you know, that place you go after you've passed? So my take on things is that because we're all energy, and because that's what remains is the energy, you can be wherever you want to be. You can perceive where you are in any way you want to perceive it. So basically, if Mick imagined me and him, for instance, walking along a sun-kissed beach, and that was his idea of heaven, and you know, we were having a conversation, what's to say that in my eyes we couldn't be having that same conversation walking along Victoria Embankment, my idea of heaven? So, you know, there's a lot of things to think about, but you know, same as if you met up with your animals that have passed. Their idea of heaven would be to be running through fields or woods or whatever else. And if you were there with them, that is what they would probably be perceiving, and you may be perceiving the same thing, because obviously that is where you used to take them when you were with them and you were happy with them. Or you could perceive sitting indoors on the settee, getting doggy or pussycat or whatever other animal you've got, cuddles, you know. So to be quite honest, there's a lot of undefined areas here. And I do feel, as I said, that to me, there isn't really any heaven and hell, because I believe that heaven and hell is here on earth. It's what we make for ourselves. We can make it heaven or we can make it hell through our perception of things. You know, even if you're having a rough time, you can make it worse by, you know, by dwelling on it and making yourselves feel miserable, instead of getting up and trying to kind of combat the issues with something a bit more positive. So when we pass and it is only energy that is left behind, basically we can travel through time, space and matter. So therefore, what's not to say that we can be anywhere we want to be? We could be somewhere that we absolutely loved when we were alive, or we could go somewhere where we've always dreamed we wanted to go. If you've had a place in mind that you never got a chance to visit, maybe that's where you'll end up. You know, I think it is all to do with perception and the way we feel about things. And I think this is what happened with my near-death experience, because when I was a child, I used to have some very strange dreams, some very dark dreams. And I think because that is how I perceived things, and possibly into my teenage years, that when I had my near-death experience, it was only natural that my tunnel should be that dark tunnel that I was always used to running down. So I'll leave you to think about this one, and perhaps if you want to leave some comments about your views, I would be very happy to read them, because I always love to know what other people think. And I'm going to say bye for now, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.